Historic week for cryptocurrencies, absolutely epic for XRP. This video is for the people that don't have time to sludge through the day to day. It's a weekly recap video. What is causing crypto to really start to go up in value and what is causing XRP to dominate? This is no accident. If you look at the coins that are starting to really pick up steam, XRP, Ethereum, these are the blockchains that are going to be used by institutions. Big money knows what's about to happen, and XRP is dominant as it gets. And I believe this is just a staging area for a big run here. XRP's breakout moment, the return of a crypto powerhouse. Remarkable. 33% surge in just 1 week has positioned XRP ahead of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most altcoins in terms of growth. That volume growth too, the daily volume growth. It is just historic. This just isn't volatility. It's the beginning of institutional adoption at scale. That's what we are seeing here, and in a big time way. What's fueling it? Well, we have groundbreaking U.S. legislation, first and foremost. New regulatory frameworks providing unprecedented clarity for cryptocurrency operations, most importantly, and also investments. The big money knows what's coming, that your institutions are getting ready to adopt this technology and just drive so much value. It is crazy. Now, we had 2 XRP ETFs approved. These are futures-based ETFs, not the spot that we're waiting for, but it's an exchange-traded fund that's now live, opening XRP to traditional investors who couldn't access it before. And if nothing else, it at a minimum shows you there's demand there for XRP. And when you get that spot and it's going to be approved, man, it is going to drive so much value. It is going to have demand out there, and that does splash the market, and you're going to see a ton of XRP accumulated. That's going to be a popular product here. How do we know it's going to be approved? Well, Grayscale already took the SEC to court, and they said if you let futures trade, you got to let spot. It's the same thing. You're investing in the underlying asset, let the people invest in the actual asset itself, and Grayscale won. The judge said, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You can't have one and not allow the other. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of time here. Again, technical upgrades that are built for really infrastructure, for traditional financial infrastructure. This isn't just, some feature to get people excited, to cause them the FOMO. This is needed architecture for the financial system of the future. We've had a ton already, and we're getting a whole lot more here really quick here. And we see the signs here. Whale accumulation. Large investors stockpiling XRP at absolutely record volumes. We've never seen this before. And this is signaling strong institutional confidence. This isn't just, Joe Schmo here buying at these levels. It's wild. Let's take a look more at this landmark legislation here. Genius Act, it passed stablecoin regulation, now formalized into law, creating a clear framework for the issuer. This is important because institutions are getting ready to use this technology. People will tell you, it doesn't affect XRP because they're not using the XRP token. They're full of it. Don't listen to the know-nothings. Couldn't be farther from the truth. This is going to give us a direct pipeline into TradFi. You're going to be able to take your dollars in your account, move them on chain, no friction, no cost. This is a game changer. This is going to bring so much liquidity on chain, and you're going to be able to use XRP for practical purposes much more efficient than you ever could before. That's a game changer. Now, I thought we were going to have to sit around now that the Genius Act is passed and wait forever to get the Clarity Act, which to me is the important one. It defines the boundaries between the SEC and the CFTC, ending years of regulatory uncertainty. What's a security? What's a commodity? We don't have to maybe worry so much about the SEC today, but they're not always going to be there. That's a revolving door here. We have to have this stuff codified and just permanent. And that's what this will do. And it looks like it's going to pass quick. Anti-CBDCs. Now, this is a big one, this act. And part of it is, yes, it's going to allow the ripples to go out there and be successful in the circles and these, companies to build the future. But beyond that, even more importantly in that, none of us want CBDCs. They are digital prisons. They are bad for everyone. And it's good that it looks like that's also going to get pushed through, even though it's going to have a harder time than the Clarity Act. Hopefully they get that done. Could never be more bullish for crypto. This is wild here. XRP, understand this, is built for this moment. Institutional design. XRPL's architecture is specifically engineered for financial institutions, requirements, and workflows. But beyond that, it's not just institutions and your billion-dollar companies. It's the everyday people. And we're going to see a lot of apps that regular folks use. My liquidity spends just as good as an institution's liquidity. And in aggregate, we have a lot of it, right? So you're going to see both hitting at the same time, institutional adoption, regular retail apps, and it's all going to come together to drive demand of XRP and build a lot of liquidity, which makes it that much more useful. And of course, everyone's going to go to the performance metrics. Transactions settle very quickly, very low fees, and we have the capacity in the future to get up to 1,500 TPS. Can you do it now with the state of the network? No, but if you have that need, if you need that utility, they just have to upgrade the equipment and they can get there. You can't say that with every chain. So it's built for scale, and it just is going to require some more, investments in the chain over time, and that will happen. And then we just have those advanced features baked in. You're not building on top of smart contracts. We have built-in IOUs, automated market makers, multi-purpose tokens, and also compliant technology and tools. And further, we do have programmability now with the EVM sidechain, so we can hit that as well within our ecosystem. It's all coming together at the perfect time, and we see institutional demand. It's been igniting. We saw two, again, as I had mentioned, XRP ETFs launch, ProShares and Volatility Shares, bringing XRP to traditional markets through regulated ETF vehicles. It sets the stage. Peak trading volume, $22 billion. I've talked about this in the past. To start 2017, which wasn't that long ago, XRP was churning about $400,000 a day. Now it's doing $22 billion, record-breaking daily trading activity, demonstrating unprecedented market interest from your institutions down to your regular folks, and it's only gonna build from here. You haven't seen anything yet. Right now, we have $10 billion in futures open interest at the time being. Derivatives markets showing substantial growth in XRP positions and commitments. And this is the thing. Once you have that spot product, a lot of those futures contracts are going to move over to spot for long-term investment. And it's going to be a whole heck of a lot more than that. That's just an indicator that, there is institutional demand out there in those futures interests. It's only going to grow. Further, we're seeing whale wallets growing. With 1 million XRP, it's reached an all-time high. I think it's about 2,700 wallets here, signaling strong institutional accumulation. This isn't just your everyday person buying 1 million XRP, not at a quarter, not at 0.6 of a cent, but at $3 and higher. They've been accumulating. We see those wallets going up with 1 million XRP, and that's not your everyday person. This is institutions, hedge funds, people like this, very serious investors. Now, the market dynamic. Right now, we have a stranglehold in that number 3 position. Solana, not even close. Cardano, forget about it. XRP has risen to become the 3rd largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, behind only Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's threatening them. And that's important. It's important for this blockchain to be lively, and it is once again. Bitcoin's dominance, it's not really starting to drop so much, but it will. But we're seeing that uptick, the capital inflowing into alternative currencies, your altcoins, with strong fundamentals. The coins that are getting ready to be used and adopted, that's what's important. You're going to see the funny stuff go crazy too. Best believe that. If you've been around, you know how bull runs are. They're very exciting. Infrastructure layer. XRP is transforming from a purely speculative asset. And by the way, it's been a utility asset compared to everyone else. But now we're talking about the real deal here. Real global systems. And it's becoming essentially infrastructure for the future financial systems. That's what you see happening right now. It's happening in real time, and that is why you see XRP going up. Now, this is interesting. 80% is held by long-term holders. The majority of the supply is controlled by committed investors unwilling to sell at even these current prices. We're over $3, people. Most of the people in my audience, if they didn't buy the early days, 0.6 of a cent, they're like me, 20, 30, 40 cents. You're sitting on massive gains, and everyone's looking at this saying, no, we ain't selling at these prices. This is going to help XRP outperform because these people really, really believe in the future of this blockchain, its capability, and what it will do. These are some of the stickiest investments out there. It is tough to get someone to sell. Most people out there that are selling is because they have to. Something's popped up in life and they have to sell their XRP. It's not based off of, a lack of vision or belief in what this technology will do. Technical breakout XRP, we're reaching all-time highs. Now it's about price discovery. How high will it go? I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's an exciting time. This is why we put up with, the tough times. The Gary Genslers, Elizabeth Warrens. We do battle with them because we know we're getting to times like this. Now it's time to just enjoy the show. The bigger picture, this is XRP's watershed moment. XRP clarity achieved. We don't need, the Clarity Act. We already got it. A judge says XRP is not a security. But with really regulations coming in, it allows your big investors to jump into crypto and build the systems of the future. Understand, if I invest billions, I'm not going to get in trouble by the SEC tomorrow. This has been okayed and we are good to go. We can invest in a big way. Years of uncertainty, XRP was, of course, suppressed more than anything else, finally operates with a defined legal framework, removing primary barriers to adoption. People look at it and say, yeah, it works, it's cheap, it's great, but we can't touch it right now. We don't need government problems. Demand convergent, institutional investment, retail interests aligning for the first time, creating unprecedented buying pressure, and just wait until you get that spot product. I know a lot of crypto enthusiasts don't use it. That's fine, but some people will. And again, their liquidity spends just as good as ours. The more liquidity we have, the more useful this asset goes for solving everyday problems. Utility unleashed. That's the big part here. Technical upgrades enable real-world applications beyond speculation, and institutional grade ones, really compelling retail applications. You're going to see this all start coming together at the same time, and establishing XRP as a critical financial infrastructure. That's what it is. This isn't just another crypto rally. It's fundamental, repositioning XRP in the global financial system. This right here, it's not a drill. It is happening. Crypto is going to go crazy. You best believe it. It's just a matter of time before we get into price discovery, and we will see what this coin is capable of. And we all should be well into the profits by this time. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.